This is the second generation Vertplanter Lift. It is a planter used for growing plants hydroponically. You might have watched my earlier videos on the first generation product, the Vertplanter Classic. I had conducted a review and created a simple setup by mounting some plants on it. The video was posted in the month of October last year. Unfortunately, the setup did not do very well, and the details were covered in a follow-up video 3 months later. I will leave links to both of these videos in the description in case you would like to go and watch them. Based on user feedback, the company has now introduced an improved version, which is the Vertplanter Lift. It is in the testing phase and is scheduled to go on sale very soon. The company has sent a sample of the new product to me for my review and testing. So let us take a close look, following which I will set it up with some moss and plants in order to test its performance. The new packaging is more compact compared to the earlier one. It is bright and colorful with photos of the planted product. The packaging of the first generation product was plain and simple with a print in monotone. The inner packing material is also very different. It consists of a top and bottom encasing to hold the product in place. The earlier one had a complete foam encased packing, which I think provided better protection to the product from damages during shipping. The product itself looks a bit different. The rhombus pattern on the body has been replaced with a more prominent star-shaped pattern. The depth of the holes has been increased to make planting of seeds easier, as I have been given to understand by the team at Vertplanter. The overall size of the container also seems slightly smaller than its predecessor. The new Vertplanter does not come with a lid like the previous version, and it has a rim on the outer edge. However, I understand from the team that in this new launch, there will be an option for the buyer to choose one with or without a lid. The inner surface of the container is lined with a thicker coating of some kind of resin than its previous version. I believe this has been done to reduce the speed of the seepage of water from the body, which has been a point of discussion in the earlier model. The bottom tray is now made of hard plastic. The earlier version came in clay material, and there were concerns that the table or the surface on which the planter is kept could be damaged due to seepage of water. If you have seen the follow-up video of my Vertplanter setup, you would notice that I had actually kept the clay bottom on a plastic tray to avoid damaging my table. I appreciate that the manufacturer has taken note of the concern and made this change for improvement. The bottom has also been widened to prevent water from overflowing. Overall, the finishing of the product is as good as its predecessor. Time now to dress up the new Vertplanter with some moss and plants to test its performance. I will use these pieces of driftwood to create a simple hardscape around the body of the planter. I could have proceeded without a hardscape, but did not want to miss out on the opportunity to test an idea which has been running in my head for a while. I want to create a hardscape design that blends with the shape of the planter in a natural way. These hairbands will be very handy to hold the wood in place while I work. I'm using filter floss and superglue to join the pieces of driftwood. The filter floss technique helps to join uneven surfaces very fast and quite easily. This technique is widely used in aquascaping and terrascaping. I'm also using thin pieces of wood to add a touch of detail to the scape. Again, I will use superglue to attach the pieces to the scape. The hardscape is intended to sit on the body of the planter like an ornament. It can be easily removed whenever needed without causing any damage to the product. First, I will get the planter ready for planting by misting it thoroughly. I start by placing sheets of moss on the planter and securing them in place with sewing thread. I repeat the process till the planter is covered with moss all around except the bottom and top edge. I finish by tying a knot to secure the free ends of the thread. Now I can place the hardscape on the body. I thoroughly mist the moss again to keep it moist. It is also time to pour water in the container so that the seepage mechanism is activated and the moss remains hydrated during the rest of the planting process. I want to keep the planting very simple and minimal. I will start with this ficus pumila and gently tuck in its roots inside the moss sheet. The rest of the creeper is placed around the driftwood like this. I also have a cutting of Ficus pumila minima, a dwarf variety which I'm mounting on the moss. I'm using sewing thread to hold it in place. I expect it to eventually send out roots and attach itself to the moss and body of the container. Here's another cutting which I'm planting in a similar fashion. Next up is this fern with its roots wrapped in moss. I will place it here wedged inside this driftwood. It should have contact with the body at all times to remain hydrated. I am also wrapping up Paleonia repens with moss and placing it in this section of the hardscape. Finally, I place a Monstera adansonii cutting in the water inside the container. It will add a nice accent to the overall scape, I think. And we are done for now. I will observe the setup for the next few weeks and come back with an update. Thanks for watching.